Yo, yo, what up? It's JSF, and today I want to do a bit of a prediction video, something I don't typically do, but I wanted to talk about a character that I really like in Mortal Kombat. Honestly, my second favorite character in Mortal Kombat, who I was excited to see get revealed in MK1. But once I saw the gameplay breakdown, I was a little less excited, and by now, you see the thumbnail and the title of this video, so you have an idea of where this is going. But I'm not impressed with Rain whatsoever. I don't mean his design or anything. I know some people are like, I think Rain looks sick. I think him being a water mage and all his water effects look super cool, and I'm down with all of that. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I like it's a redesign, it's different, he's not a ninja, cool, I guess. I have no issues with any of that, but just looking at his gameplay and just understanding high level fighting games, understanding Mortal Kombat, understanding NRS games, I think Rain's gonna be low tier. And I know people are gonna be like, bro, the game not even out yet. You already saying characters bad. You already doing a tier list before the game even dropped out. And I'm like, I get that, but I think a lot of, again, we don't have like the frame data. We never actually played the character, so we can't say we know how good or bad he is for sure. But you can tell that he's not on the level of a lot of the other characters in the game. But to be fair, I think the characters in the beta, besides maybe Kenshi and Johnny Cage, I think the other characters are not that strong either. Liu Kang probably will be because his frame data is stupid, but every other character in the beta, like Katana, Sub-Zero, Li Mei, I don't think they're going to be that strong in overall meta of the game, just based on what I know and what I've seen in other characters, right? And the thing that really made me like kind of doomed for Rain immediately is they showed him off right after they showed Sindel. And right before they showed General Shao, who I'll probably end up calling Shao Kahn a couple of times. But the thing is, Rain is a zoner, right? He's a dedicated zoner. That's his gimmick. That's his play style. NRS does do that. They make zoners with teleports. He's a zoner with a teleport, right? But in this game, they've already shown us that there are multiple cameos that have moves, have like multiple cameos you can pick that have a move or multiple moves that are specifically designed to beat zoning, right? So if your whole playstyle is zoning as Rain, and I just pick Motaro, who has a projectile shield, your entire game plan just got shut down. Because you can't throw fireballs at me while I have Motaro's shield up, right? You just can't. It reflects them. We've seen it in the trailer. It reflects even projectiles that go all the way down to the ground. So, like, you can't throw projectiles, so now you got to do something different. So now what's your game plan, right? Not to mention Motaro also has a teleport, so and you can combo off that teleport with certain characters, certain moves. I don't know who will or won't be able to, but there's that. There's also Sub-Zero assist that has the projectile shield that just makes you invincible to projectiles for a certain amount of time, right? And Sub-Zero assist, his third assist is a cold shoulder. I don't know what it does, if it has invincibility or something, because it doesn't look that great, but if it's probably like an invincible wake up or reversal, so that could be useful in getting through fireballs too. My point of this is just at literally brain level 1, the first thing you think of, Rain's a zoner. Okay, how do you deal with zoning in this game? Oh, well, I can pick a cameo that completely shuts zoning now. That's already a bad sign for Rain, right? Like, Sindel has really good zoning. She has her fireball, her low fireball. She can instant her fireball. Like, Sindel has pretty good zoning with, I think, one project. No, her scream is a projectile as well. Her scream is basically like Sub-Zero Ice Ball in this game. So it's a projectile that travels, and if it hits you, you get stunned for a combo. So she has some good zoning tools, but that's not her only game plan. When she gets in, she has really good mix-up. She has decent to good mid-range buttons, and she has the whole thing where she can steal your assists. So she has other shit going for her, right? A lot of other shit. Not to mention she's Spectral Ermac in this game for some reason, so she can just cancel into float and do instant overhead mix-ups and shit like that Rain can't do. And then if you look at, I'm gonna talk about Rain in a second, but I want to talk about the characters that were showing off with him, because to me it was very obvious, right? Like, Rain has he has a string, an overhead string. If he does the 2 overheads, it launches you for a combo. Cool. And he has one other string that does launch you up for a full combo for no meter, right? Which is pretty good. I mean, most characters have that. They should have that, right? Any of his special moves that launch for combos either cost meter or you can't combo into, like his whirlpool, right? That he throws on the floor. You can't combo into that. It's way too much startup. That's kind of like a zoning trap thing, because you have to do that from long distances. It isn't really good up close, right? Then you have characters like General Shao Kahn, right? He has back two, which is a normal. It's a button. It launches for a full combo on hit meterlessly, and on block it's plus. That's really fucking good in any fighting game. Having one button that's plus, that has decent range. It's a pretty good mid-range button. And when you watch the Shao Kahn versus Baraka match, you see him use it. And if you don't know what plus on block means, it means if I do the move and then we both jab after, you're gonna get counter hit and die. So it's really good, right? That's just one thing he has amongst his bevy of other tools. His whole gimmick with putting the axe on the ground, having a ground pound out of it, having a low end overhead earth shake out of it, having multiple overheads, multiple launchers. And he does a lot of damage, and he has a move that buffs his damage. The reason I think Rain is not that strong really is because every character we've seen get broken down, we kind of had a moment. We had a wow moment. We got a, oh shit, that looks broken, or that looks really good moment. Like with Johnny Cage, it was his star power, right? When he gets hype and then the spotlight's on him, you're like, oh shit, you can see all the cancels he can do. Oh, that's kind of broken. With Sindel, it was the cameo thing, right? She snaps her fingers and steals your assist or whatever the fuck, however it works, right? With Shao, it was, his whole thing with putting the hammer down and going into his looping offense, the power slam, and they were showing it, right? Like what he can do that looks really, really good. With Rain, there was nothing that looked that strong. Can somebody tell me what's the one thing Rain has that's like, yo, that is super broken, that is super strong? I just don't know, right? His movement looks really slower than most characters. He has an overhead that launches, and some people are gonna say that's hella good. He has an overhead, you can do a low cameo or an overhead cameo, but his overhead looks reactable. Most characters with overheads in this game, the overhead is not reactable. Like Sub-Zero's back 2 is not reactable in this game. Characters are allowed to have 50-50s in this game because it's that kind of game, right? It's more like MKX and MK11. But when you have the reactable overhead, then it's like, and then it doesn't seem like Rain has a low starter. Every time they talked about a low, they showed his sweep, right? So he could have a low starter, but I didn't see it in the breakdown. And so it just, all his projectiles, like his straight projectile, right? The first projectile they showed Rain use, and they're like, oh, this takes up a ton of space on the screen. People are going to try to jump. Then you hit him with the anti-air projectile. It's a high. Just duck it. It's a high. Just duck. We play NRS games. We play Mortal Kombat. It's a high. Just duck it. Duck and walk in. Or you can armor through it. This is a game of armor, right? You can armor through it. You have cameos. I can call Frost cameo, freeze him full screen, get hit, and then still probably get some kind of follow-up after, right? Like, you got to think about what you can do. The power level of this game is very high. It's kind of like Street Fighter 6, where you know how every character, if you haven't played Street Fighter 6, in that game, every character feels like the most juiced version of themselves, right? This is the best Ken has ever been, the best Ryu has ever been, right? The power level of the game is high. So if your character can't do some insane shit, they're probably not that good in the game, right? It's like when they show Rain's super kick, right? His standing 4. If you know how NRS games and Mortal Kombat games work, standing 4, standing 3 are always high buttons. Always, right? Standing 4 is a high, and they're like, oh, if you charge it, it does the, kick around the world, you get a combo off of it. Why the fuck would anybody let you charge that in their face? You know what I mean? They're like, oh, but he can dash out of it and fake you out. It's like, yeah, but his dashes look terrible. His dashes don't look good at all. They don't look fast. His mobility, his movement, like his walk back looks really fucking fast. But like his forward dash, his back dash don't look great. Not to mention you can just low poke because it's a high. And the way highs work in Mortal Kombat is they don't hit crouching moves. So if you see Rain posture up like he's about to do his super kick, you can literally mash down 1, down 3, and it'll beat every option. If he tries to dash cancel it, he'll get hit. If he tries to let it rip, he'll get hit. So there's no mix up there to it. Like that's not how mix ups work. You know what I mean? So like when I'm watching this Rain breakdown, I'm like, I'm already theory crafting ways to beat his entire game plan. And he has a straight projectile which looks good. It does look good if he had another projectile to complement it. And I know people say, oh, he has that anti-air projectile. He throws it in the air. If you jump, you get hit. And I say, yeah, but that only hits you if you're in the air or if you're point blank range. If you're like sweep range in front of him or further back, it will never hit you. It goes right above your head. It won't hit you. So just don't jump. Just duck, walk, or use your cameos, or use your armor. Like you have tons of options. There's just so many ways. And then his armored wake up is horrible. He's the only character I've seen so far in the game. If you think about the characters who have armored reversals, right? Reigns is this little geyser move he's doing where he puts the two little water fucking geysers on the ground and he stands there, right? Sub-Zero's is a slide. Lee May's is a full charging knee. Scorpion's is demon dash. Johnny Cage's is a shadow kick. My point is the armor moves like this usually advance pretty far across the screen. Reigns does not. He stands still in one place, which means it's going to lose to neutral jump. You can just neutral jump it. He won't be able to utilize it the same way other characters can utilize their armored wake up. So he's going to have to hold pressure in the corner that other characters are not going to have to hold. And I know I'm way ahead of myself in the sense, like, we're not even playing the character yet, but this is just fighting game knowledge. Like, if you know fighting games at a high level or at a competitive level, I used to play Green Lantern in Injustice, for example, right? In Injustice 2, Green Lantern's invincible, quote unquote, wake up was this willpower wall. He puts up a wall of bricks with green energy, and he stands in one place when he does it. He's one of the few characters that didn't have an advancing special move as a wake up, and it was fucking horrible. So I've seen this before, you know what I mean? And it's just, when I look at other characters, I'm not saying they look perfect, but there's no other character I've seen in Mortal Kombat 1 where I've already poked 10 holes in their gameplay. But that's how I felt watching Reign. And you could argue that I'm nitpicking, you can argue that I'm overanalyzing because I like the character and I want him to be good. But I just don't see, look at him dashing, it's not fast. Like, I just don't see it. Like, he has an overhead, that's cool, brother. So does every other character in the game. You need to be juiced, and he just doesn't seem to have the juice or the sauce, bro. It sucks because I like Reign. Buff Reign, buff Reign. Can we get the hashtag buff Reign going right now, please? I would like him to be good. I think he looks cool, but he does not look like he's going to be fun to play. He looks like he's going to get rushed the fuck down. And that's the thing with zoners. Zoners usually have bad wake-ups. Zoners usually don't have really good tools in other situations, really good mix-ups, even though NRS games they usually do. But yeah, just looking at Reign, man, I don't see him being that strong. He looks weak compared to Sindel and Shao Kahn for sure. He looks weak compared to Johnny Cage. He looks weak, shit, compared to Kung Lao, he looks weak, honestly. Because you gotta remember, there are other characters who can zone and then have a cameo that has some kind of a project. Like, Liu Kang has good zoning. He has a low fireball, a straight fireball, an air fireball that shoots 30 fireballs. He has a full screen fucking beam. So he can zone. Probably as good as Reign, probably better than Reign. But then Liu Kang has 6 frame string up close, right? Liu Kang has a really good, back 2 is a really good mid that also goes into a meterless launcher, right? Like, he also has an overhead off his standing 3. Like, Liu Kang doesn't, I'm not saying he's amazing, he's perfect, he's got everything, because Liu Kang doesn't have an overhead launcher, right, like Reign does. But Liu Kang has a lot of the shit Reign can do. Sindel can do the zoning shit Reign can do, but can do other shit too. And that's usually a sign that your character's not that strong, when you have one dedicated game plan, and other characters can do your game plan as good as you, or close to as good as you, but then have another game plan that's even better, right? So, yeah, I think Reign's probably the worst character that they've shown off so far, in the sense of we've seen them play a lot, gotten a decent amount of breakdown of. There's characters we still haven't seen get broken down, but I am not optimistic for this character being strong. I'm going to try him out because I love him. One of my favorite characters. I'm going to try him out, but I don't see him being that well, but being that good. But let me know what y'all think, man. Buff Reign. Do y'all think Reign is going to be top tier or low tier? Do you think his mix-ups are going to go crazy? I know he can do his overhead into a low assist. That's going to be a cute gimmick for a little while, but eventually it's not going to work. It's going to be like Jade's overhead in MK11. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all today, man. If y'all enjoyed the video, subscribe, catch me on Twitch. Y'all know I'll be streaming and all that. I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all stay safe. JSF, I'm outie. Peace.